Hi folks, this is all the fruit and I decided to give the fruit season in Bintulu one more chance. Going to some hiking area which is inside the urban sprawl. It has a lot of different names. Taman Rekreacji Air Terjun, UPMKB, Bukit Belangkang, Kolam UPMKP. Well, what was it? A couple other ones. I don't know if the whole area has one name. Okay, let's put my other phone in there. Or if any single part is to be referred to by its name. But yeah, it's a hiking area. It's a sort of hill, lots of trees. I hope it's not planted in the same way as the parks, with the goal in mind to prevent fruits. So let's check out what we have here. Pipturus, an edible stinging nettle relative, but it's not ripe. On this little tree there is an invasive passion fruit, Passiflora foetida, hanging, but it's also not ripe. Some bananas, but I guess they belong to somebody. There are some people living there. Some sort of Chinese school there, and the cab driver told me that the hiking area is here up the hill. So let's see what else we are gonna find. Okay, here we have some tasty passion fruits. You have to look for the yellow ones inside those calyxes. The problem is once they are ripe, they are they are quickly being devoured by the local birds. They make holes into them and eat the tasty seeds. Tasty indeed. Fortunately very small and also very invasive. This stuff here has edible fruits. I forgot the name again. It's popular ornamental because of its persistent leaves. Nothing here. Or inflorescence here. Another one here. But nope. No ripe fruits, folks. Even this small stuff is out of season. Did I mention that it's not the fruit season right now? Yeah. Let's check out another one. Nope, nothing. I wonder if this jungle-like area here could be having some fruits. However, it's fenced in with barbed wire. Not that I cannot get over it, but since I don't see any fruits down there, I will leave it for now. This tree looks like shorea. It is covered with big fruits. Found a couple on the ground, but those are definitely too small and unpollinated, I guess. It's been shedding them. Here we got the big ones. Or could it be Balian? This does not look like shorea. Shorea usually have leaves. I have small wings. Let's see if this is Balian. Oh, or was it Bilian? Birian? Oh yeah, it is. If I'm not mistaken, this is ironwood. Look at the big seed. You can actually eat the big seed, but I think you need to cook it first. You can see that there's quite a lot of flesh inside. Kind of tart and slimy at the same time. Here is a ripe fruit with the big seed inside. Guess the one up there should be ripe too. Well, if I had a kitchen where I'm staying, I would maybe collect a couple, but now I'm staying at a hotel, No chance. So I will leave them. Oh, this looks like an ancient oil well. Well, warning, cannot read the rest. Oh, Balian, look at that. They have signs for the trees. And it is ironwood or Balian. Big, nice signs, even with Latin and with the description and everything. Wow. The ironwood trees have better signs than this historic tower here. Bintulu is mostly and originally an oil drilling city. And yeah, this could well be one of the first wells that were drilled here about 100 years ago. Huh. And here is some university area. Well, university sounds good. They tend to have arboretums, some good ones, some less good ones, but let's hope for something. What is this fruit lying on the ground? It looks ripe and juicy. Looks like a palm fruit. Looks like an oil palm fruit. There is an oil palm over there. One single oil palm, and I guess the animals have learned to eat the big fatty fruits. Another one over here, another one over there. There seem to be the remnants of an old oil palm plantation. So I can see over a dozen oil palms, and they don't look like they are still being harvested. What about here? This jungle-like area around the oil well. It's really intriguing. Come on, show me some big juicy fruits inside. Give me a reason to trespass. Okay, folks, don't trespass. I'm not gonna do it either, because there are no fruits. If you wonder why those people always have big rubber boots or other thick boots when going into grasses or shrubs, don't wonder anymore. There are tons of scorpions and spiders and snakes and other nice critters which don't usually live on the concrete or on cut grass, but in bushes and tall grasses. The local blackberry or rubus species, I forgot the name. Never seen a black blackberry in the tropics. They are usually red. Don't seem to be in season. Lots of very young fruits. Even when they're in season, if you are really lucky and they are really good, they're as good as an average blackberry. But none of them compares to a good temperate region's raspberry. Still by far the best rubus species, in my opinion. A group of durian trees in the distance. Am I walking the wrong path here? Spotted a couple other fruit trees down there in the beginning, before I started filming. Up here, doesn't look too fruity. I might get lucky. There are a couple younger oil palms here. I don't even know if they are planted or they are seedlings from the old plantation trees. But if they have nice ripe fruit, I would totally eat a couple. Kemonting here, by the way. What's this? Yeah, Kemonting. Singapore rhododendron. The fruits are quite tasty, but not ripe yet. Why is everything being fenced off? Couple durian trees. Underneath them a lot of smaller trees. Tree planting ceremony. So this is sort of the area where you donate money, or you are coming here as a politician, plant a tree, and let the workers plant a couple hundred other trees. So it seems that the reforestation of this area has been some sort of political act. However, now they're cutting them. Well, they're still just a couple centimeters thick. Please explain that to me. First you plant them with a big ceremony, and then when everybody has forgotten about your big tree planting ceremony, you chop them down again. A pandanus, very important plant for foraging here. The buds are the most important food. You can use the leaves, but mostly for weaving and stuff. And if they have fruits, some species actually have tasty fruits. Don't know if this is a very young plant or if this species stays that small. Here's an even smaller one. But they don't have fruits. Out of the hundreds I saw in the last days, only 2 or 3 had fruits. Well, only 2 or 3 had ripe fruits. Here is a newer tree planting ceremony. Well, okay, that's a branch, not a snake. 2017, planted by yeah, planted by. And is there also a sign? Trees chopped down by who? Look at how many trees they chopped down here and over there. Explain that to me. How does this add up with your fancy tree planting ceremony, folks? And why do you chop down trees? Pitcher plants on such a hot day, those are a decent source of water. Well, I mean, they are not called pitcher plants for nothing. Inside the pitcher there is water, or rather a nice insect soup. So what you want is a pitcher which is still closed. By the way, this is not a rare species, it's basically spreading everywhere you cut down the jungle. So, the pitcher is closed, you open it. Can even bite off the top. And then you check inside, because insects, they still tend to get in there. No insects inside. A tiny gulp of water. Well, to be honest, it's not gonna save you from dehydration, but it can help. Here, another closed one. Check for insects. Those are particularly small. Normally you get around 1 milliliter of water, but from those, not even getting half a milliliter. Nothing inside. Hardly worth the trouble. Yeah, but most people don't need as much water as I do. And also, yeah, if there is no clean water around, here in those hills I could still find a cleanish spring. But if there is no clean water around in the lowlands or so, it's a good clean source of little gulps of water. It's better than nothing. And, well, it can definitely save you if you are severely dehydrated. You'll just need to drink a couple thousand of... Opa, that was something big. Well, big like a 1-foot lizard or so, or a squirrel. But it's gone now. Little trail going into the jungle. Always been a guy searching for stuff, and I noticed you search for a cave, go in a caving area, search for the little trails. You search for orchids, go in an orchid area, search for the little trails. You search for fruits, go in a fruity area, search for the little trails. Those can usually lead you to nice places. Also, it's cool and shady here. Some small fruit, definitely unripe. This looks like a good quality jungle, folks, like a jungle that has been locked but has recovered quite decently without a lot of exotic species. You can find such places even in city centers. I mean, I found such places in Kuala Lumpur and in Kuching, two of the biggest cities in Malaysia. So it's a nice surprise, but not a very big one to find it here in the outskirts of Bintulu. I was talking so much. There was something big like a monkey or something in the distance. You hear it? I think it's a monkey. it's jumping. Okay, I think, yeah, definitely a monkey or some, well, definitely not a bird because it's jumping from branch to branch. Where there are monkeys, there are fruits. This one seems to be some official cross-country trail with all the markings and steps. Really good quality jungle, folks. I'm sure they have cut down the big trees, but it has recovered beautifully. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't do too much damage to a jungle. It can actually recover. I'm sure in the fruit season this jungle is loaded. It's so strange, those fruit seasons. I think they are made for the purpose so that no seed-eating animals can accumulate in an area, but the birds which eat the fruits and then fly to the next area can disperse the fruits. So more fruits are being eaten by the birds who can move around for hundreds of kilometers than by ground-dwelling animals who, as a rule, tend to be more interested in the seeds. But still, this fruit season is quite annoying because, oh my, because there are no fruits around. A little jungle stream, almost dry. Shall I follow the jungle stream? Or shall I stick to the trail? Let's stick to the trail. In flooded areas you often find other species of fruits, but I think here you are just missing other species of fruits which would grow on those trees and shrubs at other times of the year. Well, no fruits, but a great jungle, which makes me think again about this tree planting ceremony. They might have cut a small piece of jungle to plant trees here, just because planting trees is good publicity. And after they got the publicity, they cut down more trees. I also think most of the trees they cut down around the planted trees are spontaneous jungle trees. So imagine, they cut down the jungle to have their little tree planting ceremony, probably with exotic trees, and then they prevent the jungle from surrounding the exotic trees, and so the exotic trees are gonna outcompete the jungle. Lot of publicity, hundreds of people give them money, hundreds of people think they have done something for the environment, but what they have done is actually destroying this here, folks, because that's what it looks like when you don't have a tree planting ceremony. Nature conservation is unfortunately one of the biggest enemies of nature. I can tell you this as a nature conservation biologist with over 20 years of professional experience. Here, by the way, some other little fruit. Has a seed inside. However, those seeds don't seem to have embryos inside, so I guess it's again, the trees are shedding the unpollinated fruits, while the good ones gonna come in a couple weeks or months. If I could guess, I would guess that this is a wild nutmeg. It could also be a lot of other different fruits. Seems that it's still kind of not completely rotten, but seeds are gone. Let's continue this way. This way I guess it's up to the road. This way is going further into the jungle. Quite a long steep slope. I didn't notice I'm so high. I've already gotten down like 16 or more meters. And here, something nice and colorful on the jungle floor. What could it be? Piece of a fruit which was opened by some animal, probably birds or rodents, to eat the seeds inside. But just one single piece here. Nothing else around. People like to make fires here. Guess it's some sort of original jungle experience for the folks who move to the big city and want to feel like they used to in their home villages. Oh, giant butterfly over there. Well, why is the fire right here at this steep spot? Maybe there are durian trees around and they have waited for the durians to drop. And if it's rainy or if it's night and there are mosquitoes, a fire actually helps a lot. Cannot say which one of those trees could be a durian, but yeah, there are enough. Well, I don't know enough. There are a lot of durian trees in such forests. I've seen people, well, I've seen them being harvested by people in Lambir National Park, for example. Wild jungle durians. Here a bigger stream. Oops! And some bigger fruits. What is this? There are a lot of them, but all which are on the ground have the inside eaten out. In the stream there is one which still seems to be intact in the deepest place of the stream. So I wonder what happened. Why is just the one which is in the stream intact? This stream is also big enough for fishes and turtles. And they've made a bridge. Did I mention that they make the bridges just as sturdy as they need to be? Well, let me get into the stream. Nice and cold, and salvage this one fruit. Still seems intact. Don't do this, folks. Don't eat any fruits you don't know. The rind is very bitter. And the stuff around the seeds tastes like a bitter pear. I wonder when it's ripe if the bitterness will go away. It will be more like a wheat pear. Beautiful. I actually didn't expect to find such a good quality jungle around here. I thought maybe a park or maybe some planted stuff, but no, this is a good jungle. Here there is a real campsite. I'm sure they are even using the water from the stream and they are camping here for days. Yeah, this could be a place with durians or some other valuable jungle fruit actually. Yep, the authentic Boy Scout experience. A little roof over the fire so that the rain doesn't put it out. Here a little table or grill. Wonder what this palm tree here is. Looks like something special. Does it maybe even have edible fruits? It's such a pain not being here in the fruit season. I'm realizing, yeah, Borneo is great, but mostly because of the fruits. Without the fruits, actually, other destinations in the area, other islands, kind of become more attractive. Here is again this thing. I found a piece recently. Here are two small fruits now. Yeah, it seems like some animals like the seeds. But no, I'm not gonna try it now. Enough of bitter and disgusting fruits for today. There are a lot of campsites here, folks. What's up? Are there so many durians here, or this is actually a real Boy Scout group camping out here? If this was a durian campsite, even weeks and sometimes even months later, you can find some durian husks around. this could be, I mean, it's along an official trail. Official. So it could really be a Boy Scout thing. Yeah, look at those neat and same looking things here. So I guess maybe there are no durian trees around, but this is really a Boy Scout thing. One of the ancient trees, probably this broke down before they chopped down the rest, or it broke down while they chopped down the rest. Maybe they even took the upper part, didn't bother for the lower 6-7 meters. So yeah, but here we have two quite big trees in the area. Maybe they left them because the timber is not valuable enough, or because they wanted some seeds to repopulate it. And yeah, really here, it's happened really nicely. There should be more studies how to recreate a proper jungle. Classic reforestation is definitely not the answer. It's rather the problem, although a lot of ecologists, no, not ecologists, a lot of activists and vegans and such like won't like to hear that. But yeah, sometimes, no, very often, people who think they are the solution are actually a big part of the problem. A pandanus on stilts. Look at that. The stem doesn't reach the ground, but a dozen or so roots do. Thin stem, and up there just a screw-like little butt. Try to get as much light as possible. This is more common in flooded lowland areas. Here on the steep slope it's not that common, but it occurs. Another fruit on the ground. That's how you find most fruits in the jungle. It's not even a fruit, it's a seed. Somebody has eaten the fruit. Some palm seed. Could even be an oil palm. We are quite deep in the jungle. This is the 4th or 5th steep hill. Didn't expect this from a city park. More stumps of ancient trees. Because those don't have rings in the way the temperate trees have rings. Until recently people didn't know how old they can get. They were guessing that 1 or 2 species in the Amazon can get over 1,000 years old. But then they found with radiocarbon dating, or was it some other method, the different methods of dating are used for different substances at different ages. Well, they found out that a lot of species get over 2,000 years old. I think the oldest Amazon tree they dated was back then, this is already like 20 years ago, 10,000 years. So this tree here could well be a couple hundred or over 1,000 years old. It's very sad to see that the ancient jungle has gone. But I have to say, really, here it has recovered really nicely. Amazing. Basically inside the city, at very close to a road. So, as sad as this stump is, in this case I guess, after the jungle was already locked, this is the best outcome I could have imagined. Here somebody thinks they are doing nature some good by planting those 2 flowers. However, I kind of doubt very much that those are native here. Again, somebody who is trying to improve the jungle, but yeah, with a very, very, very questionable method. Here they have planted a couple other things which I've only seen those in, oh yeah, of course. It's not local stuff. Look at that. Aloe vera in the jungle. Yeah, aloe vera is not from Borneo, folks. So somebody here, yeah, this is again, you take a beautiful jungle which you have locked decades ago and which is recovering now, and you plant a lot of ornamentals inside this jungle. Folks, can it get any more stupider? If I rip them out now, people would start talking about vandalism and everything, maybe they will make a very big ceremony to plant more of those. I don't want to be the vandal, but as I said, nature conservation is one of the biggest enemies of nature. Maybe not as big as logging and mining and stuff, but close behind. Back up the road again. Some feral figs. I forgot all those species. I could recognize dozens of them. They are totally edible, but not ripe enough yet. Yeah, hard as wood. Yeah. I really have to pity the local animals outside the fruit season. What are they doing now except eating each other? What are the fruit and seed-eating animals doing right now? Those pictures are a lot bigger. Running out of water. I could get some substantial amount from them. That would be great. Look at their size. Oh, yeah, there is water inside. Well, this one is, well, I broke it off. Sorry, didn't need to do that with this one. Yeah, size-wise they are much bigger, but cannot see a single young one. Yeah, pitchers with water are more easily available during the rainy season. Nope. Not a single young closed one. This is the normal species we are familiar with, but even this one is not usable right now. Here a couple more of the big ones, but nope. No young ones. Ah, here is one small one in reachable distance. This was a quarter of a millimeter. Nah, not too much. I'll keep an eye out for the big ones. Those figs are also edible. Also not ripe yet. They need to be a nice rusty brown to be edible. Oh yeah, those figs and the pitchers. Waldo, a small Dayak boy in central Kalimantan 4 or 5 years ago, taught me this and a lot more things about jungle survival. I wonder how you are, Waldo. Here we have a ripe one. By the way, this is the same species despite the totally different shape of the leaves. Well, a ripe-ish one. Yeah, edible already. Now the big hairy ones, nope, not even ripe-ish. Just looking ripe. Some sort of fruit orchard around this meteorological station. Maniok behind the fence, jackfruit, enkala, durian. Oops, I thought this is some water apple. Ah yeah, it is a water apple. And a mango, and another jackfruit, even with fruits hanging down from it. And the guard dog, who is doing a very good job preventing the white man from stealing the jackfruits. Nah, I don't need the jackfruits. They are not ripe. I don't want to take them away from those nice meteorologists anyway. Some tiny pitchers growing here along the slope, but water is water. Taking everything back, I hardly got a drop out of those. So, okay folks, let's change the slogan to size matters. And let's look for some bigger picture pitchers around here. Here we got one. Still haven't tasted the big species, the really big species. Really would like to know what its water tastes like. Forgot the name of this thing too. It's a Melastoma teishi, and I learned about it in Balikpapan. The ripe fruits, despite being so hairy, they are edible. They turn kind of bluish when ripe. Here is a half-ripe one. I guess it's not in season yet, folks. It's not in season yet. In a couple weeks there will be lots of of moderately tasty fruits on this shrub. Here a fagaceae with proper acorns, a relative of our oaks and beeches, is already covered with big fruits. Look at that. They look exactly like an oak acorn. This could be Quercus ilex or some other Mediterranean species. I wonder if people here use them as food. Some Dayak once mentioned something like that to me, but I think the language barrier was too big to be sure. Anyways, they're here in the jungle in huge amounts. You can usually remove the poison by boiling and leaching them, or even better, roasting and leaching them. So they should have figured out how to use them, I would say. Here's some sort of other small fruit. But what's also interesting to me is this old marker. The road ends after about 150 meters, but if I go down about 300 to 400 meters this hill, this Juggle Hill, I should arrive on another road. Let's see if this marker means there is a trail which is still being maintained. Doesn't look like it. Looks more like something which is very much abandoned. It looks like people have been walking up this vertical wall maybe years ago, but by now it's abandoned. I will look for a better trail. A Bintulu. I wonder if this is one of the vines you can cut to get water in the jungle. Here a totally different vine which I cannot place, with beautiful rusty colored stems. That's the jungle for you folks. I've realized that I'm here on a steep ridge. Goes down quite steeply on both sides. The road is built right on top of the ridge. Jungle has a lot of vines. Now the question is, shall I dare and go inside or not? Not on this side, but on the other side. 300 meters in a straight line, but I guess about 100 meters down, and you never know if you can walk in a straight line here. Let's say maybe there is a trail on the last couple meters. Should be a hole in this wall. Yeah, that's why it's called jungle, folks, because it's very hard to penetrate from the outside, because it's forming this protective layer of vines and ferns and other things. And also, once you chop it down, it's a horrible ticket for decades. Well, but it's the same with temperate forests. But with the jungle, I guess it's a little bit more expressed, so that's why it has its reputation as inaccessible maze, inaccessible mesh of plant material. I just walked past this thing, folks. This is a snake, and this red color, probably a poisonous one. So many times I've basically walked on top of snakes. Also, the car that passed here 2 minutes ago just avoided it. Let's remove this snakey from the road. I don't think there are too many cars here, but still. Come on, little fellow. Go back to your jungle. Okay, didn't even try to attack the stick, but slithered back into the jungle. Good. Finally I could show you a live snake. Who said inaccessible mesh? Walking down a steep slope. The jungle is getting denser, but I am walking on top of a giant jungle tree, about a meter thick, and yeah, hanging right here, just 1 meter over there, over 3 meters over the forest floor. But here I saw some fruits. Huh? This could be some kubal. Somebody asked me about kubal recently. Well, this could be some kubal. Or some lanjak maybe. Well, those have been rotting here for weeks. Are those orchids? Oh yeah, I'm walking on orchids. Those orchids grow as epiphytes on the tree, and I mean, if it's a hardwood tree, they can survive in this condition for decades until the tree rots away. Yellow mushrooms on this other small tree. Oh, my tree trunk is getting a bit slippery under the leaves. Oh no, and down there, oh no. There is actually a piece of the jungle which is still not completely turned back into jungle, which means that I will have to fight my way through at least 20 meters of, it's not even bush, what is it? Yeah, an inaccessible mesh. Here a termite mound built up on this little tree to avoid flooding. I went a bit uphill to go around this area, but I failed. It's continuing in this direction. Now I think I have to fight my way down. Here is still acceptable, but I have to get only 20 meters through this to get back to the proper jungle. Here another one of those giant trees, but this one is very hollow. Oh God, I don't want to fall into one of those. Snakes and all types of critters live inside. It's even thicker than the last one. This one is maybe 1.30 meters, but just 4 or 5 meters long. Behind it, a steep drop. Oh, and fruits. Here, a bunch of fruits on this little tree. However, how do I beat them down? This stuff is invasive, by the way. We don't need it here. Oh. So I broke off this invasive plant to try and hit the fruits. This looks like something, I've seen something like this which is considered edible. I need a longer stick about this one. It's already broken off the tree. Okay, let's see. Oh no. Yeah, okay, I managed to beat the fruit down. Now let me walk down this hollow tree. Oh. 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 And here we are. Don't eat unknown fruit, folks. It's sweet, but with a strange aftertaste. Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and since we are not in the fruit season, I'm kind of scraping the bottom in this jungle inside the city limits of Bintulu in Sarawak in Malaysian Borneo. Just one bunch of fruits, only one of them pollinated. Don't even know if it's completely ripe. Don't even know the family. Don't eat unknown fruits, folks. It's not only unknown, it's unripe. It tastes like an unripe fruit. Not bad, but nothing special. Getting much steeper, basically vertical ahead. But I want to get into this little wash or gully or creek. I hope to be able to walk easier. On the bottom, sinking all the time up to my ankles into dead leaves. Guess this water here is even drinkable. Well, maybe not this one. This is coming from the area of the transmitter on top of the hill. I doubt they are connected to the city plumbing, so maybe that's their sewer. It looks like a clean jungle creek. Oh, look at that. The most horrible plant in the jungle, the rotten palm. Those little spines here are as hard as steel. Never try to tear yourself free from a rotten. Always remove it carefully before you continue. Well. Yeah, about continuing. Did I mention that I wear my city crocs, those stupid things made out of two halves, which tend to fall apart once I'm in the jungle? And here it's getting almost vertical again, but the good thing is nice beautiful sandstone steps, not slippery at all. Lots of really beautiful vegetation here. Oh, I have to turn off the phone. I have to put it away. This is too steep. This is like 3 meters of vertical fall. I need both hands. Tree ferns. Those are basically ferns which grow as trees. Here a small one right next to me. Ahead of me there are some fruits, but they are 6-7 meters above ground. So my plan is firstly to get down there alive, then to shake the little tree they are growing on. Let's see what kind of windfall I'm gonna get. Those look like those elongated fruits I'm finding on the ground a lot. However, it almost seems like they are growing on a vine. Don't know if I can shake them down if they are growing on a vine. They seem to be kind of sturdy. Oh, here is this thing again which I tried further up. Well, first things first. Shaking it is not gonna do me any good. Now, I'm continuing downhill, folks. Pretty sure it's the stuff I already found on the ground. Still have about 150 to 200 meters till the next road. Got into some lowlands, which are a different color from the surrounding steep hills. Hope I don't get bogged down here, literally. Different color could mean a bog. For now, oh, this is 15 meters wide. 15 meters doesn't sound like much, but if it's a bog, it could be too much. Ground is going down beneath the ferns. I can hear a creek somewhere underneath. Oh my. Not a good idea. I'll try to find a place where this thing is more narrow. Honestly, it's not much better on dry land. Yeah, remember the snakes and scorpions. Oh yeah, boggy water here. Fix. Shall I go up the steep slope again? Shall I try to squeeze my way? Here I am Here I'm getting half of both things. I'm basically on the, oh my spines and trunks, basically on the valley floor. Basically walking among those ferns, similar to what I would have down here, but at least still on dry ground. And down there, where I'm hearing the water louder and louder, I think it will be flowing in a more narrow channel. Earth fix. Those grow on the ground, and sometimes so far on the ground that they look like they grow in the ground. This is a big and not too tasty species, but also it's unripe. Okay, maybe I'll find better ones. Oh, the sound seems to come from another mountain creek, not from the main creek down here, but here, as you can see, the ground is clear at least, and yeah, dry sand for now. The creek is less than 2 meters wide. The bottom is solid enough. And now I don't want to go up. Don't want to go up this thing. Where is the creek? Wait. Oh, it's flowing in the other direction. Oh, so maybe this waterfall is of the same creek. Was under the impression, for whatever reason, that it was going in the wrong direction, well, in the other direction. Never assume things, folks. So yeah, after already getting into the lowlands, into the creek, there seems to be an area where I can walk around, slippery. I can walk around those lowlands. This beautiful colorful thing down here. Looks like some sort of fruit. Let's go up here. Very small earth fix. Could be very young, or a species I'm not familiar with yet. Although there seems to be an old logging road here. Try to follow it a little bit. It's not going in my direction exactly, but it should be easier to follow. The first and the last couple meters, usually the most difficult in a jungle. According to my GPS, I'm already on the road. I think I'm just 5 meters away from the road, but that's my life, folks. Borneo jungles calculate a lot of time and effort for the last 10-15 meters. They will usually be the worst, because you usually enter where there is a hole in this wall here. With the parang, you would make a nice hole, nice tunnel in 5 to 10 minutes. But they don't have a parang. They also don't need 5 to 10 minutes to squeeze through this stuff. Oh my. Well, not what I expected. It's not a road for cars. It's just a trail, but it's good enough for me. It seems that here either the damage caused to the jungle was harder. Maybe this was the main area where they were pulling out the trees, or the soil was poorer. Look, no jungle has come back. Ferns and low shrubs. Usually the situation will change only after enough rock has been dissolved to provide new nutrition, new minerals, new micronutrients. Here, more pictures, but those are tiny. I've run out of water. I mean, in an extreme survival situation, you could also drink the ones with the insects, but I'm not in an extreme survival situation. So, just drinking the ones which are still closed. No. Yeah, this one had a little bit more. Oh. Oops, pulled out the whole plant. Don't worry, as I said, those are quite common in disturbed areas. Not even checking for insects inside anymore. Well, I would save more water if I would stop talking and filming. But I'm still not too exhausted. I think there are just 2 or 3 kilometers to the next real road, so no problem. Oh, and again I'm on a type of ridge. It's going down on the other side. It's going down here, that's where I came out, but it's also going down here. Here they always build their roads on ridges, it seems. I thought I'd found some fossils. Sandstone is usually a desert deposit, but you can find bones in it on rare occasions. This looks exactly like that, but then I noticed here, oops, one of them is sticking out. I can break it off. Here another one is sticking out, another one. I don't know, this is sandstone, quite soft sandstone, but sandstone. And it seems that some roots are managing to get into the sandstone, mostly through cracks, but also through the solid rock. This ecosystem is so poor in nutrients. Yeah, if you get meat-eating plants, you know that the ecosystem is very poor in nutrients. This ecosystem is so poor in nutrients, but the rock is still very close to the surface, that those roots are, I don't know, can you dissolve sandstone with chemical methods? Well, they're growing into the sandstone. I've never seen this before. This is actually quite an interesting discovery. Okay, more pictures. Oh, lost half of the water from this one. I need this big species. The small species is, yeah, it's basically refreshing my throat, but I doubt that much of it is making it down to my stomach. I need this big species where they were, the water was more than a shot glass. I need those. This sand should be full of gold, but in Sarawak, and especially in Bintulu, people are so rich, I don't think they even care about the gold content of this sand. They have oil and gas. They don't even care about harvesting the coal here in Sarawak. Why would they care about some gold flitters in the sand? But if we were in Kalimantan, I'm sure there would be gold prospectors around here. Very interesting geology, a lot of mineralization. The red stuff should be rust, but what is this unrusting metal here? Could be so many things, and half of them incredibly interesting. Yeah, I've rarely seen such nice and colorful rocks, especially this metal shine here. Who knows what stuff they have here? As I said, in Sarawak, they are so rich, they're exploiting some of the major resources of the state, well, destroying a lot of them, for example, the jungle, and they know about a lot of other things, but they don't care because they're making enough money with the stuff they're already exploiting. So who knows, maybe gold is the least interesting thing that's in this sand. Maybe there are a couple other much more valuable minerals. Here is the jungle between the two roads. The real road, I came up here, and this thing which I'm walking down here, which is marked just as the same type of road. As you can see on this side, most of the jungle has been cut down. There are single areas. They might have been left standing. much more degradation in this area. Also, if you're wondering, this is a fruit channel. Why am I talking so much about geology, about natural resources? So look at all those nice pictures, about the people, about climate, about whether it's a good jungle or not. All this plays a big part in finding and explaining fruits. Oh, by the way, is the road going this way or that way now? That's gonna be fun. At least it's not sunny, but I still would like some water soon. Still a couple kilometers till I get to the city from here. So much about this being a road. Not even a motorbike could pass from here. However, I'm hearing the real road already less than 100 meters away. To be very careful because I noticed that here the rocks are extremely slippery. Yeah, you can get hurt on the last 100 meters. Also, the number of spiders I had to pick off me. Well, the number is 2, and they were quite small, but they were of this species which can get really giant. Still don't know if they grow bigger with age. Or another of those slides. Oh no, this one is actually not slippery. This one is stable. Yeah, not much more to forage around here. I drank pitchers all the time. Of course, I did not dare drink the water, especially since I saw traces and even scat of feral dogs here. Dogs here in Malaysia can give you so many things. Oh my god. So this is supposed to be a road. It was marked exactly the same way as the big road I walked on at the beginning of this trip. Whew. Whew. Well, folks, I guess this was it. My foraging trip to this jungle area that has wait, what is the trail? Here is the trail that has several different names. If you have been to Bintulu and like hiking or jungle, don't skip it. It's really great. Maybe don't do the hikes without trail through the jungle. You'll get lost and you will disturb local wildlife. There are enough hikes with trails. There were several more little trails I skipped. Oh, come on, what's this? Don't let me end up at a sewer again. Well, it is one I can jump, no problem. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich island of Borneo. Of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.